Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is TBR Schmitt and this is my wife Samantha.
Hello.
And today we are watching episode 1 and 2 of season 4 of Better Call Saul. What'd you think of last season?
Some of the most incredible television I've ever seen, and specifically episodes 9 and 10 were absolutely insane.
9 and 10 were insane. I think we talked for like almost an hour, cut it down to like 40 minutes maybe or something like that. But yeah, we talked at length for the end of season 3. We're just super excited. It's been a while since we've watched, a while as in like a week and a half.
Yeah.
But it feels like years since we've seen the last couple of episodes. So we're just super excited to get right into it.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you'd like to see the full length reaction for this, as well as everything else that we've reacted to, the link to our Patreon is in the description. If you'd like to interact with us on our Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, all those links are in the description as well. And with that, let's get into the episodes. Oh yeah, he was passed out.
Yeah.
Was this some Fallout music?
I can't believe how long it's been since that happened.
Yeah, I mean, it just happened, but it does feel like this was seasons ago. This is a lot of attention. I wonder what's wrong.
That's my echo.
Yeah, it's got to be so nervous. I'm surprised he hasn't tried to get out of here already.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, why did he go through all those tests?
Maybe they forced him?
You're right. It's not a heart attack. Everything I can see here looks good.
Get out of here, Gene.
Mr. Takovic, would you mind?
I have a taxi coming.
It'll just take a moment.
The insurance?
Maybe.
Reason this computer keeps kicking us back. And this is your current address?
Uh-huh.
Can I have your social security number again?
Oh my God.
531.
That's the Pacific Northwest, right? It's supposed to be beautiful up there.
Yeah, it's
Your social is based on where you live?
I have no idea. I just assumed it was the order you were born.
I've never seen this before. Oh, wait. I typed the letter O instead of a 0.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's going through now.
so it's okay.
I'm so sorry.
You have no idea how much stress.
Have a good night.
What about your driver's license? You didn't get back your driver's
Hold
license.
on. Don't forget this.
Get out of this
Stay
hospital.
warm.
You too.
Like, he clearly had like a stress-related,
Incident.
yeah, and then that.
Oh my God. I mean, he got everything done through the vacuum guy, so it should all be,
Legit.
yeah, or like work, you know?
Mm-hmm. Is he staring?
He's so paranoid.
I'm paranoid.
It's a
I
green
mean,
light.
yeah. Damn. He's not even paying attention to the road?
You know what? I'll just get out here. Great. Thanks.
What the hell was that?
Why isn't he leaving?
And the taxi driver knows where he was going for like home. So the address.
No, he gave him the mall.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he said Cottonwood Mall.
I was just thinking, like, is that someone who actually did live in Albuquerque who was like, hey, I recognize you? Was going to like call the cops for the home address?
Oh my God.
Kind of forgot all about this with that intro. No, this is going to just a crazy transition.
Yeah, so we're picking right back up. It's music.
It's very Chuck-like. Oh, for his advertisement companies or something?
I think he's looking for a job.
I'm just waiting for the news. Oh. Silent?
You've reached Kim Wessler. Please leave a message.
I'm trying to reach Jimmy. It's Chuck.
Like, is the house just totally gone?
Jimmy, don't.
Oh. Wow.
God.
He says it started in the living room. The inspector says it was over fast. smoke inhalation, so he didn't suffer.
Wow.
Yeah, they're gonna say that.
Do they just say that?
Did you see the backyard? Everything electric is back there. The fireman didn't do that. He did that. I saw him 5 days ago. He was himself. Something must have happened. Something made him relapse.
It was just everything. No brother, no law, nothing to look forward to.
I think we should go home, Jimmy. Come on. Let's just go home.
Did Jimmy know that Chuck was kicked out of HHM or bought out?
Probably not.
I can't remember that.
No, I don't think so.
So maybe if Jimmy's looking for a reason, he's gonna think it's all Howard's fault.
Or why did Jimmy go to...
He went there because of the Kim got into a car accident, so he felt the need to go.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, no, I don't think he knew about that.
We might have a war then between Jimmy and Howard because Jimmy's gonna put all the blame.
You think?
I mean, he's just sitting there thinking of a reason for him to relapse, and that's gonna be the main reason.
There you go.
So is it, huh?
Yeah.
He's done?
You take it easy.
The boss says he's gonna want the windbreaker.
Oh. Oh, is this the same hose he used to?
I can pick her up the rest of the week if you want.
What about your new job?
I make my own hours.
Must be nice.
A lot of mail.
First check.
That's crazy. 10 grand a week. Oh, taxes. Oh, wait, no. I saw 85, but then I saw 10,000
Yeah, it was
something.
like a little bit more.
Yeah, why don't you cash that? Or deposit it?
Maybe he's confused by the amount?
Is it too much?
Wanted to get Chuck's obituary into the paper before the service, but I'd really like to run it by you. Charles graduated valedictorian from Francis Xavier High School at the age of 14. The youngest graduate in the history of that school.
Wow.
Charles joined George Hamlin's solo practice. Over the course of 23 years, the two men built what became known as Hamlin McGill into a nationally recognized firm.
He was on the boards of many New Mexico charities and a founding member of the
Too much?
It's me, Howard. Sounds good.
Jimmy's okay with it?
He likes it. Howard, you should go ahead with it.
Sucks for everyone. There was a lot of talk about law in that statement, not so much about family or...
Yeah. I mean, it was literally his life.
Yeah, it's his thing he was most proud of, but it's also kind of like, I don't know, weird.
So much has changed since he got that bottle.
Yeah. Kim's accident, now Chuck.
And was he taking any medications?
He took these.
We're headed to Lovelace if you'd like to follow.
I completely forgot about
Yeah, right? The only thing I was thinking of, like, man, a lot of people are getting shipped off to the hospital this episode. Okay, what kind of conversation are we going to have here? Nothing? But the bad pills in the drain? Just the whole thing?
Juan Bolsa wants to see you.
You drive.
Nacho.
He's gotta get rid of these pills.
I feel like he's a little too sweaty.
I mean, if his boss just potentially almost died.
Yeah.
El compadre de Tuco.
Ignacio.
Don Héctor tuvo un derrame cerebral, no sabemos cuándo volverá. Nada cambia. El recuento debe ser exacto. Si hacen esto correctamente, las cosas podrían ir muy bien para ustedes.
For which one? There's two of them.
¿Qué piensas? Alguien se moverá contra los Salamancas. Lo que trae, la guerra, la DEA.
Yeah. Hank?
Gus wants nothing to do with all the chaos.
No, he doesn't. If anything, it's better if just Gus takes everything. Avoid the war of taking over Salamanca's territory. If there is no Salamanca territory, it's just all Gus territory. You gotta be kidding me. Oh. No, Gus. Gus had his suspicions and just had him confirmed.
It's just a chain. So you take this, give it a little play, right? Loop it around the big gear. That's all there is to it.
Who are these new characters? Oh, wasn't Mike was getting information about someone, right? Didn't Mike call?
Oh yeah, he called
someone on the phone. I don't know what exactly, but that's the only thing I can think of.
Listen, could you let Mr. Eglin know I'm going to be late this morning? I might miss the staff meeting. No, car trouble. It's probably just a dead battery. Okay, thanks.
What's gone?
Some sort of access to the company? Yeah, what are you doing, Mike? Is he still not trusting this company? That's why he won't cash that check? So now he wants to go and spend a day there and make sure everything's tip-top shape before he associates himself here?
I feel like there's more than that. I think it specifically has to do with the amount.
Boxing is a sport. Martial arts is life and death.
Muhammad Ali hits you, you're going down. That's a fact.
Bruce Lee, he knows the anatomy.
Does Bruce Lee have a gun? If he doesn't, it's Ali in 3 minutes or less.
Did you sign Tina's birthday card?
Would you mind?
Not at all.
I'm just a regular employee.
He'll do just fine.
You're nuts. Thanks.
Yeah?
Did he sign it his name?
I think so.
What is he doing?
Yeah, I feel like it's more than just the amount. Like, he's just genuinely suspicious of this company.
Or is he just really working?
Like, is he doing security?
That's what I'm saying. Like, he feels like he does need to work.
Well, he's already committed. Like, he's already on record.
Yeah, but maybe they want him, he wants to be on camera doing the work. There's proof that he was there.
May I ask why none of you guys are wearing a lift belt? You go to the equipment room, you get lift belts and gloves. Rules are rules, got me?
Temporary pass. At least he got in.
I think this belongs to you.
God.
I waltzed through security with someone else's ID. You got duplicate routing numbers on cargo, surveillance camera blind spots.
Say, hold on.
Please
Who are you exactly? I don't know anything about a security consultant.
Well, you wouldn't, would you? Try Lydia Rodart Quayle.
So you're right. He was just wanting to work, so it's more official.
Jimmy, we're going to miss him so much.
Who even is that? God damn, people enough.
Thanks, Brian.
That Howard already here?
Yeah.
I think I owe you the truth about Chuck, those lanterns. I don't think what happened was an accident. The truth is that we had a disagreement, and I pushed him out.
Oh, is he gonna talk about the insurance?
He was improving until the thing with the insurance, so it wasn't the bar hearing. They found out about Chuck's condition and raised our rates. He wanted to go to war. I drew a line.
Damn.
It never occurred to me that I could hurt him. I think he did what he did because of me.
Damn, Howard.
Well, Howard, I guess that's your cross to bear.
Oh. I felt it in my gut Jimmy wasn't going to do anything about that, except for leave it on Howard.
So I'm going to make some coffee. Maybe want some?
What a shift in energy. What the fuck was that ending? I don't even know how to feel about any of that.
Yeah, like, is he happy?
I think
that it was his, like...
His fault?
Fault?
Howard's fault or Jimmy's fault?
Jimmy. Is Jimmy happy that it was, like, the insurance is the thing that catapulted all of this?
I just genuinely think he snapped right in that moment. I didn't think Jimmy would take the blame from Howard to be like, oh no, Howard, I did the insurance thing. Like, I didn't think Jimmy was going to come clean, but I thought Jimmy was going to like
have some compassion,
like forgive Howard or something. Is this a secret doctor? Is this a cartel doctor coming in the dark?
True.
Or a Gus doctor? Aren't those blinds like wide open? Could you very easily see two people standing inside?
He's no longer in a coma, but he's unresponsive. There's very little even the best hospitals could do. In the end, I can think of no better judgment on this man. Isn't this what he deserves?
I decide what he deserves.
No
one else.
Interesting.
So he's upset that Nacho took this into his own hands.
Yeah.
It wasn't up to Gus.
Yeah. Gus wanted all the control and power. I thought you would kind of have like a, oh, good job, Nacho type of thing. It definitely feels like a you piece of shit. You took away my ability to fuck with this guy.
Yeah.
Kim doesn't know about the insurance thing, right? No one knows except for Jimmy.
Yeah.
You're up early.
Yeah, job interviews lined up. I wanted to get an early jump.
You know, you can take some time off.
I don't want unemployment hanging over my head, and we could use another paycheck.
You're not going to that meeting?
Nah, if there's anything important, Howard knows how to find me.
Meeting? Was it
Will?
A Will, yeah. I mean, Chuck just got a cool $3 million. I don't know if he gets the rest of his payout in death.
I don't think so. Who's here?
Solo soy yo. Todo terminó.
Take it back.
Puedes quedarte con eso. Nadie viene por él.
¿Y cuándo va a terminar esto para ti?
Right?
En eso ando trabajando.
Ooh, losing the hair?
I mean, we saw in
Cinnabon time?
Yeah.
Cinnabon?
Is a lot less.
Yeah.
You know your stuff?
Oh, I worked in a mailroom. That's a 6500 color copier. Worked with one back in Chicago.
That machine was almost too good. Counterfeiters use it to make phony $5 bills.
Oh, wow, really?
Mr. Neff, this is James McGill.
Oh, just Jimmy's fine.
Jimmy, pleasure. Come on down. Have a seat.
Stubbornness and persuasiveness are two of my top qualities.
I have to say, Jimmy does know his way around a copier.
Says here you were a lawyer.
Being a lawyer, my job was sales. Every hour of every day, I was convincing, persuading, I was selling.
We're gonna put our heads together, have a decision in, say, about a week or so.
Week?
Like, he just totally skirted the question.
Yeah, why are you no longer a lawyer? Go back in.
Why?
Because he didn't answer it well.
I'm sorry, could I just have another minute? I'll be real quick. The time you spend looking for someone is time I could be out there working for you. Is it worth the wait? Maybe, but I can tell you this. I worked in the mailroom. I know how important the copy machine is. I know better than anyone that the copier, it's the beating heart of any business. You plug one of your new machines into the system, healthy, strong heartbeat. Ka-chunk. Ka-chunk. That is a successful business. And that's what we're selling.
Just hire him. Come on, it's printers. I would honestly watch a show of just Jimmy selling
printers.
Yeah.
Jimmy, welcome to the team.
All right.
So just like that, huh? I just come in and do that little song and dance and I'm in?
What are you doing, Jimmy?
Are you out of your mind? You don't know me.
So you're not taking the job?
No, I'm not taking the job.
God damn it, Jimmy.
I feel sorry for you.
What just happened? Is he just gonna do this all day?
Probably. They have a little Chuck complex coming on. A little too good for everyone.
Wondering, are you still interviewing for the sales associate position? I could be there in 20 minutes. Well, thank you, Ellen. I'll see you soon.
What was that?
He's definitely hard to read. His reaction to that, his reaction to Howard at the end of last episode. She's gonna be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. Meet at what time? Yeah, I can be there.
It's a restaurant?
Good afternoon.
Madrigal Electromotive.
Oh, good. Take a seat. Looking for an explanation.
Anyone ever ask if I was there? I was. Plus, you had a few things that needed correcting, so consider it a bonus.
This is meant to be a paper transaction.
Like I said, now there's a face to the name that cashes the check. Madrigal has 8 terminals in the Southwest. 1 down, 7 to go.
If I asked you to reconsider.
I'd ask you to do the same.
Okay, looks like we're getting an audit on the other 7 facilities.
At the moment, you have Gus Fring's respect. I'd want to keep that if I were you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how Gus would react to this because I was shocked by the way he reacted to Nacho.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Does he not like someone going out on their own?
Yeah, calling their own shots. Ooh.
This is Dr. Maureen Bruckner, just arrived this morning. Generous grant came through, which allowed Dr. Bruckner to lend us her expertise.
Wow.
Okay, well, our staff can help with the database.
We can co-manage care if you like.
No.
No, please, get me out of here. These 2 men are very scary.
¿Ustedes son familia?
Sí.
Hijos.
Damn, talking.
Nuestro tío.
Estimular esas mismas partes para que puedan reconectarse.
When did they get here?
Don't worry. We're still running things.
Nacho's nothing but worried.
Les pido que le hablen a Héctor. Hay la probabilidad que en cierto nivel y encontrar caminos para reconectarse. ¿Vale?
We're gonna need some different people.
Nacho can talk to.
Hablen.
Hey, what's up, Hector?
Todo está bien allá afuera.
Así es, don Héctor. Nos mantenemos al corriente del conteo.
Talk more?
Gonna expect him to talk to him till he wakes up.
Just grab a book and start reading.
Va a superar esto y estar más fuerte que nunca.
Sure hope not. I mean, we kind of know the future, but Nacho doesn't.
I spoke with your security contractor. What he's doing makes no sense.
He is reliable.
This isn't something I want to spend my time worrying about.
Then I suggest you give the man a badge.
They took him for a brain scan.
And?
It's everything, no change.
Such a glare. I can't even see what's on the...
It's like tripping my eyes out.
I mean, obviously we're not supposed to see, but...
I know, but just the out of focus and the light coming in.
You want me back at the hospital?
No. Call Victor. Have him meet us.
HHM?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, this is the meeting, right? I was wondering, like, what exactly she was doing here.
I know Chuck was thorough, but even I didn't think there was going to be this much paperwork.
I was actually pleasantly surprised by his restraint.
The agreement for the transfer of property, as discussed, if you can initial here.
She's getting everything?
We were just finishing up Rebecca's side of things. Jimmy's not coming.
I'm here on his behalf. It would be the right thing for Jimmy to go through whatever survived and take whatever he wants.
That's okay. Jimmy doesn't want any of it.
Just a total cut.
Disperse his share of the estate.
Let me guess. 4,000?
5.
It's what you give when you want to cut someone out of a will but not have it contested.
For a scholarship. I was hoping Jimmy would agree to serve on the board.
I'll let him know.
Okay. So he gets $5,000?
Chuck left Jimmy a personal letter. His eyes only. Let me walk you out.
Actually, Howard, we have a few more things to discuss.
Please give Jimmy my best.
I will.
Are they gonna, like, fight this will or something? So just Rebecca gets everything? I mean, Chuck can do what he wants with his stuff.
What were you thinking when you came to Jimmy on the day of his brother's funeral and laid that shit on him? What's wrong with you?
It's not wrong.
I thought I owed it to Jimmy.
You did it to make yourself feel better by unloading your guilt.
Kim, I don't think that's fair.
Fair? Hey, let's let Jimmy dig around the fire-damaged wreck where his brother died screaming. What's in this? One last screw you, little brother, from beyond the grave?
What can I do to make it better?
This is rough.
Just stay away.
Oh, that sucked. Howard's not wrong, and he's just doing what Chuck's will was intended to do. But Kim's not wrong.
I feel like the conversation was very much about the conversation when he came to the house was about Howard. Like, it was about his guilt.
Yeah.
I think she was right.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
They're both right. The show does this way too often.
The other
gonna give it
is
to him?
showing Jaws 3 with
I don't know. She should
commercials,
just,
so real
yeah.
Sophie's choice.
I almost feel like you should read it. I know it's his eyes only, but
That Kim should read it?
yeah, just make sure if it's good, give it to him. If it's not, just delete it forever.
I think I might get a call back on one or two of the others.
Wow, this was a pretty good first day.
What about the movie? I feel like their trauma has just like latched them to each other. They're very much like protective of each other.
Yeah. Did he steal that?
Did he? That thing is worth $9,000? I didn't see him lift anything. Or is he gonna go back?
I'm not available at the moment. Leave a message.
He wants him to steal it?
It's a job. I think you're really gonna like this. Call me.
Mike is earning over $10,000 a week. Is he gonna go in to go steal a little figurine?
Jimmy really can't help himself.
We're taking 6 tonight. It's what the boss would want. You gonna back me up or what?
Yeah.
It's what the boss would want?
Oh.
You only get 5.
Where's the rest? I only see 5. Salamancas get 6. We're not leaving without 6.
Take the 5, I'll leave with nothing.
Do you really want to do this?
Okay.
That's what I thought.
We're all supposed to be on the same team here, guys.
Absolutely not.
It all goes up to the Don.
That's how you do it. We had them pissing their pants.
Gus doing that himself? Right? That was Gus? Or...
Yes.
Holy shit.
I know what you've done. The Salamancas, they do not.
What a way to die.
Get me. You are mine.
Jeez, big bad Gus. Dude, look the other way. Wow. The episode's called Breathe? Jesus. All right. That was episode 1 and 2 of Better Call Saul. What'd you think?
Strong start.
Definitely a strong emotional start.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I feel like we talk about it almost every time that there's so much that happens in these episodes that feel like the show probably could have gone on for like 20 seasons.
Yeah, they're dense.
Yeah. So we pick up where Jimmy had passed out at Cinnabon.
Mm-hmm.
And that felt like ages ago that happened.
Yeah, it felt so long ago. There was even a period where we forgot that he was currently like passed out.
Yeah.
We'll consider that like real time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we forgot about that, and then when we remembered, and then you still go multiple episodes and stuff, so it feels like that was so long ago.
Yeah, so you kind of have this like paranoia and anxiety with Jimmy having to end up in the hospital, and then he's, I guess, Saul, or whatever his new name is.
Yeah, shoot, I already forgot.
He essentially, it sounds like he maybe had like a panic attack of sorts, because they confirmed it wasn't a heart attack. So for him to end up in the hospital, they're having to do all these tests on him.
It's very Chuck-like, when Chuck kind of passed out, and then they ran all the tests, and they're like, he's fine.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, Jimmy's been super paranoid in real time that we've been seeing, like, you know, staying away from the cops with that one shoplifter or getting stuck in that trash can area. He could have pushed that door, but that meant cops or security would have come. So it's like he wants to lay so low, and this was like a nope, you are so exposed right now.
Yeah, and then the moment with the receptionist at the hospital and just the panic of really having to pull out that driver's license again, give the social again, and then the paranoia in the taxi, seeing the Albuquerque air freshener.
Right, yeah.
And I mean, the way that the show frames everything, like I was panicking for Jimmy, and it's like clearly we're getting looped into his paranoia.
Yeah, and it's hard to tell, like, are you just crazy and paranoid, or are you catching on to things where people are being suspicious of you?
Yeah, and it's interesting because then later in the episode, you know, obviously we know that Gus is no longer, but we see how easy it is for Gus. We saw it with Mike, and we see it now with Nacho, how easy it is for him to kind of trail and track. And so it's like Jimmy kind of being in that world. He's being paranoid, but not without some merit.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like if someone wants to find him, they probably can still find him.
Yeah.
So that was such a nervous start to episode 1 that honestly, I forgot the cliffhanger, if you want to call it that, of the end of season 3 with Chuck. Like I thought we were going to go straight into that. Obviously every season has started the same, so I should have expected that. But still, like it was so captivating. I was like, holy crap, Chuck, like when that situation then came next, and as expected, it was devastating for everyone.
Yes, yeah. I mean, you have the frantic phone calls from Howard, even calling Kim to be like, I really need to talk to Jimmy.
Yeah.
The whole scene of Jimmy pulling up and running through these emergency crews, and then the like devastating shot of the coroner van leaving. The whole thing was so sad, and it's so interesting to see kind of the totally different reactions from Howard versus Jimmy.
Yeah, I mean, Howard is definitely a lot more, I think, emotional, whereas Jimmy was just more in shock.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, in real life, everyone handles
tragedy or
grief differently. So it was really just kind of interesting to see because Jimmy, I feel like essentially just shut down.
Yeah, he was definitely different. Obviously, this is huge, losing your brother in that way. But yeah, there was definitely a change in Jimmy, and I feel like in Kim. We can get into greater detail with that later. But yeah, Jimmy felt off. And, you know, we talked about how everyone saw Chuck doing so much better, and that kind of made it feel like it was going to be worse. And Jimmy kind of brought that up where he was like, I just saw him a couple of days ago. Everything was fine. He was better than ever. And he wanted to think of like, there must have been something that sent him over the edge.
Right.
You kind of fast forward to the end of the episode with Howard's confession.
Yeah.
And that was such a strange moment. I still don't know how to feel about that. I'm really interested in the comments because obviously we know what the situation is.
Yeah.
But Howard is almost taking all of the responsibility for essentially pushing Chuck over the edge.
Yeah.
And Jimmy just let him carry it. And not even that, but kind of stuck a knife in it also to be like, well, I guess that's your problem. And then was just like super happy. And I'm like, what happened there? Like, was he happy that there's like an external reason for Chuck's situation? Because Jimmy knows the true truth that it was the breaking point was the insurance.
Yeah, I'm curious too because I don't know how to read that situation. I feel like maybe that is what it is, that Jimmy doesn't really ever take any type of like accountability.
Not often, no.
Maybe he is excited that there is like something else that he can say, well, that was on you.
Yeah.
Or is he happy that he did it? He got Chuck.
I think you had a comment like that during the reaction or something where it's like, was Jimmy happy that it was his actions that sent Chuck over the edge?
Right.
Which that's crazy.
That is very dark.
Yeah.
Very, very dark. So I don't know. I feel like we're going to have to keep watching to see kind of more of how he acts. But is this like a very pivotal moment for Jimmy to Saul? I don't know.
Yeah.
But it feels like it could be that dark, but I don't know if I believe it's that dark.
I mean, there's so many possibilities, and I think
Yeah.
both of us are stumped on how to read that situation. Maybe
Yeah.
it's just super obvious to everyone else.
Yeah.
But for us, I didn't think Jimmy was going to come clean in that moment. I
No.
didn't think he was going to be like, oh, actually, I was the one who messed up with the insurance.
No, he won't tell anybody that.
Yeah. So I didn't think he would do that, but I thought he would at least be like, oh, Howard, you know, whatever, don't beat yourself up about it or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know why. I kind of thought Jimmy and Howard had a little bit more, or Jimmy had a little bit more respect for Howard, and seeing Howard as upset as he is and knowing how close they were. But again, Jimmy's not a good person. So
Yeah.
I guess our expectations were a little higher for him. But that was honestly shocking to me that he just let him carry that weight.
Yeah, letting him carry that weight. I mean, obviously we could see that, but it was then going after that to just be like, anyone want coffee? And it was like, what the heck? Like,
yeah, very strange.
and then, I mean, to jump ahead, we're going to jump all over the place because it's hard. But then in episode 2 with like Jimmy's job search, and he would just like crush it. And then he would be like, you guys fucking suck. Like,
Yeah.
you're going to listen to me. I don't want to work here. I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
Well,
don't
because he
you?
doesn't want a job. He
Yeah.
doesn't, he's not there for the job. He's there
there-
to mess with these people.
He's there for that experience of like using his words to just win over people, do that little show, the little razzle dazzle,
Yeah.
and people just eat it out of the palm of his hands. He gets filled up and then he moves on to the next.
Yeah. So very strange way to deal with Chuck's death.
Yeah. I
Like you said, I am very curious to see the comments and what people think.
Yeah. To keep going on like the Chuck's death situation, there was a couple of other interesting moments, like the eulogy, right? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Very law heavy.
Yeah, there was like nothing.
There was nothing about Rebecca, right? I don't think so.
Well, no, I mean, nothing about Rebecca, but there was just also nothing personal.
There was really nothing. It was all just academic and like law achievements.
Yeah.
And on one hand, that was all of Chuck's identity in life. And so that's like, that's great. But then also I was kind of like, I felt bad with that. I was like, damn, is that really it? Like, cool. You were good at school. What else? Like, is that your only achievement?
I know, that really makes you think like, what are the things that people will remember you for?
Because it wasn't being a good brother or like a husband or a father, nothing family related, nothing really community. I think they talked a little bit about like some community thing, but it was nothing crazy. It was almost all just like school and law, which that was Chuck. So it's like, I feel like it was very nice and respectful, but something deep down in me was like, should have there been more? So I don't know, that was an interesting aspect. And I feel like we've talked about it so many times, but what the show does so well is you can have two people on completely opposite sides, both telling pretty much all truth and facts, yet they're on opposing ends. And the whole Kim and Howard showdown over kind of Chuck's will and stuff.
That was crazy to me. And I feel like we're seeing a different side of Kim.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Kim is like turning into like a protective partner, I guess, to Jimmy, more so than ever. I feel like both their traumas recently with the accident and now with Chuck, like these two are like seemingly inseparable.
Yeah, but it seems like it's like a toxic like trauma bond between them.
Yeah, it doesn't feel super healthy. It's the same thing with like the eulogy, whereas like something deep down was like, that doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
And it's like Kim and Jimmy's relationship, I've wanted them to be together, obviously, because they're a cute couple and everything. But for whatever reason, something's like, this doesn't seem healthy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But anyways, to go to that conversation, like Kim was very right in terms of like, this is bullshit. You think Chuck would ever let Jimmy be on this like board? The amount of money to just kind of satisfy for the legal requirements. I'm not quite sure exactly what that was, but it felt like a fuck you type of thing.
Oh, 100%. Like, I mean, it's essentially like if someone dies and then you kind of come back and you're like, oh, they were just in a fight or something. And so now I'm going to fight that.
Yeah.
But no, it's like he thought of you. It wasn't a mistake. Like it was like an oops that he got left out.
Right.
Like you weren't left out.
Right.
This is what he intended.
Yeah. So that was interesting. And then, to call Howard out for like, you didn't do that for anyone other than yourself. The whole confession thing. it's like that does all feel true.
And that felt true. I mean, I don't.
But then you go to like Howard's side, and it's like he can't do anything other than follow Chuck's will. Like, he's not the one coming up with giving Rebecca everything or the amount of money. Like, this is all exactly what Chuck laid out. So you can't beat him up for that. And also, I don't think in the moment Howard was like trying to be cruel to Jimmy, or he probably didn't even register that it was more for himself. I don't think Howard is a bad person who was like, I'm going to take advantage of this situation to get this off my chest so that I can feel better. I think he just genuinely thought it was maybe the right thing to say in the moment, but hindsight is 2020. And what Kim is saying was like, no, that was all for you. That makes sense. So it's very hard.
That's what they do on this show, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The writing's incredible.
Like, you can argue for anyone in this show and have something to back it up, but Chuck's death sending shockwaves through everyone.
Yeah.
Kim feels different. Jimmy feels different. Howard feels like a shell. It's rough.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, like, I hope that we still get Howard. Like, I hope we're not getting Howard now, that there really isn't a connection.
No, I'm sure we probably still will. There's got to be still like some lingering Chuck things that keep bringing Howard into the picture.
Yeah, so I'm kind of curious how that plays out. But yeah, I mean, this feels like everything is different. I'm curious to see everyone else's thoughts on this.
It's been such a whirlwind because the same thing happened in episodes 9 and 10, where it was like characters are changing and then they kind of revert back to what they were doing. But then we were also like, Chuck's death is going to reset all of this. And then Chuck's death reset everything. So it's like the last 3 or 4 episodes, it's just like,
whiplash.
Oh my God. Yeah, exactly. Just moving along. Mike still very hesitant and, wants to make sure all of the T's are crossed and I's are dotted, whatever the expression.
That's right.
So yeah, he just is showing up places now. That was such a hilarious sequence.
That was so good. And I feel like that was such like a nice kind of comedic relief for everything else that's going on in the show.
Yeah.
And it's always nice to see Mike kind of in those types of moments. So for him with Lydia, and obviously we know kind of the history of things that do go down with Lydia.
Right.
So it's interesting to see kind of how their first interactions look like. Initially when we saw him in the office, and then him showing up, and Lydia's now like, just take the money.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
what are you doing? So I feel like that was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
And also just interesting to see Mike like, what are you doing over there? Like,
yeah. Being very good at his job, like very effective. So he's going to go to 7 more facilities before his time is up.
Yeah.
Obviously, Gus is dealing with so much that he was just like, Lydia, just fucking handle it. Like, just get the guy a badge and stop bothering me with this. And Gus kind of brings us into the whole Salamanca Hector situation with Nacho and everything. And that was such a huge storyline for these couple of episodes. We felt that Gus was on to Nacho.
Yeah.
The fact that we had that scene where I think his name is Victor was stalking, like watching Nacho toss those pills and everything. That was like, oh crap, Nacho. Like, I want to have so much more faith in Nacho's abilities, but he looks so afraid all of the time. I mean, the situations he's in are terrifying.
Yeah. He doesn't have a good poker face, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's rough out there for Nacho. But that was such a stressful scene to kind of, he almost trying to drop the pills down the drain or whatever.
There was no way in hell that was going down.
Mm-mm.
Like, I don't know what he was thinking. There was absolutely no way that was happening.
But Gus was on one these couple of episodes. For this to kind of culminate with Hector getting into the hospital, and then Nacho and whoever the other guy is, ponytail guy, I think he has a ponytail.
Yeah.
Them kind of taking over.
That was so dumb. Like, the whole thing is so dumb. Because especially in the situation that Hector is in, like, what did you think was going to happen? It's not like Hector's there to call some shots.
Yeah.
Like, you guys do not have the upper hand in the situation.
I think that guy was going to die no matter what. I don't think it mattered whether he took 5 things.
You don't think that set off that situation?
No, they were all prepped and ready to put that plastic bag over him.
That's true.
Because Gus is amazing,
but
he's also a monster. Like,
well, yeah, I mean, mostly a monster.
Yeah.
He's an amazing monster.
Exactly. Like, he's also like very strategic and stuff.
You're right.
But we've seen him get his hands very dirty in Breaking Bad. But that scene where just Gus comes up and puts the paper bag or the plastic bag and it's all tied up and they just tie his arms and legs. So he just has to like take it and die.
Yeah.
And he's like literally looking at Nacho.
Yeah.
Nacho can't do anything about it. That was such an insane power move.
Yeah.
Especially for Gus to be like, I have the ultimate trump card. Like, I know you are the result or you are the cause for Hector. So now I own you. That was crazy.
Yeah. And I just, in those moments, it makes me go back to the conversations with Nacho and his dad.
I was
where he's
just thinking
like,
that.
I'm gonna get out of this. I'm gonna be out of this. And he's just getting sucked right back in.
Yeah. It's crazy because you have so many characters in this universe who have been given multiple opportunities to like get out of the life of crime.
Yeah.
Sometimes get out with a lot, and they always just don't. I genuinely feel like Nacho was in a situation where he's like, I wish I was not here anymore.
Yeah.
And he just can't. Like, he's the one character where I'm like, if he had that opportunity to get out, I think he would have taken it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe he had that opportunity earlier or something like that.
No, I feel like he would have taken it too. I don't know. But then the whole Tuco thing, it's hard.
Yeah. But I mean, he was willing to kill Tuco to like try to not be in danger. He was going to kill Hector. Then he was trying to, you know, eventually get out of this. Like, I don't know. Nacho just seems like a trauma story. And it sucks to go to his like those conversations with his dad, where his dad obviously knows the world that he's in.
Yeah.
And he's like, I just want my son out of this. And now Nacho's deeper than ever.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So curious to see how this plays out between Gus and Nacho.
Yeah, I mean, Nacho's gonna have to do everything Gus says.
I know. So I'm like, obviously we know what happens with Hector. I'm pretty sure that is it for Hector. Like, I don't think that Hector like gets better and then something else happens to him. Like, I think this is it.
No, I think, you know, obviously he'll just eventually turn into the Hector that we know, the wheelchair, unable to speak.
Yes. We still have the cousins, twins, whatever.
Heard them speak? I don't know if we've heard them speak.
No, that was
first...
wild. That's 100% the first time.
You think?
I think so. I mean, if they spoke in
remember.
Breaking Bad, I'm sorry, but I think that that's the first time.
Yeah.
And only one of them.
I was like thinking, was the one in the hospital with no legs, was he saying something when he was like crawling towards Hank? But I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, so I think that might have been the first time.
I forgot about that scene with Hank. Oh my God.
Yeah, but that was such a great scene. Whenever the cousins are there, always like such stressful, tense moments.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we have just so much going on with these characters.
So we like to like rifle through the episodes again, just highlight them to just make sure we haven't missed anything. We forgot about the freaking end where Jimmy's looking up this figurine.
Yeah. Towards the end of episode 2, this like $9,000 figurine, and then he calls Mike, and it's just like, I don't know how this is going to play out. Again, it's like, Jimmy, what the fuck are you doing? You literally just got offered a job that I'm sure in the long run will earn you more than $9,000. But that's just
it's not that he doesn't have to work for it.
Yeah, that's not the Jimmy way. So it's like, what's your plan? Are you going to steal it? Did he already steal it? And we just didn't, I don't think he did.
No, I think that he's calling Mike to steal it is my assumption.
And then it's just like, why in the world would Mike do that? I don't think we're in a situation where Mike owes Jimmy a favor.
No.
And Mike's collecting $10,000 checks a week.
I mean, Jimmy doesn't know that, but still.
No, I'm just saying, like, what?
Mike is going to be like, what? No.
That was such an interesting, like, end to Jimmy's story in episode 2.
Yeah.
It's just like, again, what are you doing? So yeah, I think that was it. I think we covered everything. We never really look at the titles of the episodes. Sometimes I feel like it could kind of like lead you in a certain direction.
Yeah.
But these are good titles. Smoke, obviously, for episode 1, and Breathe for episode 2, for it to end on like that one dude struggling to breathe. Yeah. Crazy start to season 4.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're loving it.
Yes. Love the show. Incredible. I can't wait for more. I can't believe we're over halfway.
Yeah.
All of it.
Now we're over halfway to finishing the whole show. So if you'd like to see the full-length reaction for this, as well as everything else that we've reacted to, the link to our Patreon is in the description. If you'd like to interact with us on any other types of social media, all those links are in the description as well. And with that, peace, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.